Good morning, word collectors. Do you have your book handy? You are going to need it today for our phonics lesson. Keep this guy around because you're going to find that you're going to use it for lots of different parts of our day. Yesterday, we talked about how different parts of the world, different careers, different jobs that people do might have languages that go with them. We talked a little bit about, too, how different sports have languages with them. If you are a football fan, and I believe I have just a few football fans, then you know that there are certain things that people say in football that they don't necessarily say in the rest of the world. For example, you probably wouldn't say pass incompletion in the regular world, but on football, we hear that all the time, right? If you're a dancer, and I know I have some dancers out there, there are some things, if you know how to do a pirouette, you're probably not saying in the middle of math class, I'm doing pirouettes, right? Because it's a dance language and it's not necessarily something that we use in other parts of our lives. That happens for us in books too. When we are reading, we are often introduced to new words that are interesting to us. Now, these are words that I hope that you're going to add to your book and then find a way to use them in the rest of your world. I'm going to help you with that today. I have a little passage, like a paragraph from a story that I want to read to you. And there are some words in there that I want to add to my book, and I think you'll want to add them to your book too. Because I'm only reading you part of the story, I need to get you caught up on what's already happening with this story. This story is by William Stagg, and it is, he's a really good author. He uses a lot of interesting, inventive language. He has a book called Rotten Island. It's a crazy name for a book, right? I'm going to skip the whole first part of the book. I just want to read a paragraph from it. But it's about a bunch of monsters who live on this horrible rotten island, okay? Each monster is more horrible than the next, and everything on the island is ugly. Ugh, it's not a pretty place to be. At night, the island turns into ice, and the monsters freeze. In this part of the story, a mysterious flower has suddenly appeared on the rotten, ugly island. The flower is growing in a bed of gravel. The monsters don't know how it got there, and they don't like it. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try to find that book for you so you can listen to the whole thing. But I want to read to you the next sentence, 2 sentences actually. Excuse me. So imagine, ugly island, rotten island, no fun, really terrible. The monsters grew more and more suspicious. They slunk about, depressed or delirious, accusing each other of planting the flowers out of spite to spoil their paradise. Ooh, that's quite a big sentence, right? It's got a lot of stuff going on. Let's read it again. Now this time, as you're hearing words, I want you to start putting them in your brain, and then we can put them in your book. But first, just listen one more time. The monsters grew more and more suspicious. They slunk about, depressed or delirious, accusing each other of planting the flowers out of spite to spoil their paradise. Whew, there's a lot of words in there that are kind of interesting and things that I would like to add to my book. The first word is that word suspicious. That word is fun for a couple of reasons. I am full. My first couple of pages are full. I'm going to turn my pages. So I want to add the word suspicious. Now I'm going to spell it out on my page and then I'll come back to you so you can see it. That is a tricky one to spell. Suspicious. Okay. Suspicious. S-U-S-P-I-C-I-O-U-S. That means that they think that somebody's up to something. They have some concerns that somebody's not quite telling the truth. Suspicious. Suspicious. They slunk about. Depressed or delirious. Delirious was that word that I was really excited about. I don't like the pen I'm using. Let me switch pens. Delirious, because this is a big long word too. I'm going to write it. I'm going to show it to you. I'm spelling it right now if you want to add it to your book. Delirious. D-E-L-I-R-I-O-U-S. Delirious. Do you see it right there? Delirious. That means they're a little crazy. Delirious is a synonym for crazy. You can use delirious in a good way. You can also use it in a bad way. I could be deliriously happy. That's a good thing, right? I'm so very happy. Or I could be, like in this one, depressed or delirious, like crazy and depressed, accusing each other of planting flowers out of spite. Oh, spite, spite. Spite. Guess what? There it is. S-P-I-T-E, spite. Spite, if you add an R after the P, that spells sprite. But spite in this means that they are doing it out of spite. They're doing it out of anger. They're doing it they've got a bone to pick with somebody. They're being spiteful, okay? So that's what that word means. Those are three really big words, right? Suspicious, delirious, and spite. Whew. Okay, you have a job. You have a job to do for me. Your job, when you are reading today, I want you to have your Words That You Love book with you. And I want you to add 3 words to your book. After you've added those 3 words to your book, I want you to go over to Seesaw, take a picture of your book, okay? Or make a video and say, Miss Dana, these are my 3 words. Now here's what I'm looking for. The words that we're starting to pick out are hard to spell. You have to take your time and make sure that you're spelling them right. So use the books that you're reading and pull those words right out of there, and then you can write them correctly. Now, I am okay if you're reading on Epic, or if you're reading on Raz Kids, or if you're reading on Tumble Books, or if you're in a regular book. Whatever you're doing for this is fine. So you can do your assignment in any book you're reading at all. I just want you to start adding a few more words to the words that you love. And then I want you to share those words with me and Miss Sarah over on Seesaw, and Miss Margie and Miss Gina, so that we can see what it is you're learning, what new words you're excited about. Deal? Okay, so this should be a fun one today. You just have to add some words and enjoy some reading time. Okay, guys, I will talk to you soon. Bye.